Yeah, it's definitely a little bit of both. Definitely felt we had a team that could win another championship. Believe that we will have a team that can win a championship going forward as well. So that's always good. But yeah, I definitely, you're right there. Winning the first 2 games and losing 4 to 5 is disappointing. Put ourselves in a good spot to go on another run and came up short. So frustrating, disappointing, a lot of the same things.
You talked the other night about it's never going to be the same roster-wise. Guys are always in the lead. Marshall's a free agent. Can you just talk about what happened with him, what he's meant to this team, your time here, and what he brings personality-wise and everything else?
Yeah, he's been a big part of the core of this team since it started in 2017. He scores goals, brings an energy to the locker room. He's an enjoyable teammate, and he's competitive. Obviously, stuff happens in our league. Players change teams. He's a guy I think most of us are hoping is in our lineup next year. But that stuff always works itself out, right? There's another 2 months till free agency, the draft, stuff like that. But he's meant a lot to me. He's been sitting beside him for the last 3 years. He brings a smile on my face every day. Hopefully he can continue to do that.
Darren and Jesse.
Normal off-season, Mark, training-wise, everything's
Yeah, I think so. Feel pretty good. Definitely optimistic the way my back felt all year. Never missed a practice, never missed a game until I lacerated my spleen. So I was feeling pretty good health-wise. So I should get another good summer here to recover and get ready for the fall.
Jesse and Ed.
That was kind of the direction I was going to go, but I guess just I know it's a totally different injury with the spleen, but after missing significant time 3 years in a row, are you doing anything different, or how optimistic are you that this stuff's behind you?
Yeah, I'm definitely optimistic. I didn't come into this season expecting to lacerate my spleen. That was definitely not on my bingo card. Usually you break a finger, break a foot, hurt your shoulder, do something normal, I guess. This wasn't a normal injury. Probably the most nervous I've ever been with an injury. Spend a night in the hospital. It's never the easiest thing. As a hockey player, and then you never know if you can do all the scans and everything, but you're still a little bit nervous about it. But I think it's behind me now. I'll be good to go. And as far as the other injuries, like I said, I never missed a practice. I never missed a game. I was ready, feeling comfortable. Felt great for the majority of the season.
Thanks for Mark today. Danny and Vince.
Does Team Canada reach out to you? Is that even on your radar for the World Championships?
I'm not going to go to the World Championships. With all the injuries that I've had, especially this most recent one, I just want to recover. I definitely need it.
Mark, just to that point, how do you decompress? I mean, do you kind of get away from the rink as much as can you watch hockey at this point before you kind of get back into training and that off-season program?
I think most guys will say hockey's usually on in the background. It's not my focal point now, but you can always learn from the series that you're watching. So I'll probably won't tune in right away, but towards the end I'll be probably pretty curious to see who's winning and who has a chance. But you got to take a few weeks off, just get away from it. 82 games, in the playoffs, it's a grind, not the easiest thing. You got to get ready to go battle 82 games to get back to where you want to be, which is playing playoff hockey. So, hopefully the guys can kind of unwind here for the next couple of weeks and get back on the saddle, get the bodies ready, and have that chip again going back in next season.
Mark, having gone through the experience now of defending a championship, what are some of the unique challenges that during the course of
I think we kind of had a storybook start, right? I don't even know what our record was, 10-1 or whatever we were. It kind of felt like we were just gonna breeze along, and then we started getting our adversity. There's lulls in the season where we started having some injuries and new lineup, every night. But we battled a lot of adversity to get where we were. I think we had a lot of, I don't even know how many man games lost we had. We had a ton, right? We were able to get there and give ourselves a chance. You don't see teams repeat very often, especially in today's game. When you go into the playoffs, there's 16 teams that could probably win, right? So I don't know. I don't know if it was really any different. I know the guys in that locker room thought and expected that we were going to win again, and fortunately we didn't.
Adin, now that it's all over, I guess how frustrating was this season for you in terms of the injury and just trying to come back and re-aggravating it and going through that throughout the year?
Yeah, it was frustrating. I think it's the third year in a row I've had a bit of injury problems. So, nobody wants to be injured. It sucks seeing your team battle out there without you and kind of feeling helpless in a way. But, I'm trying to make sure I do whatever I can this summer to try and have injury-free next season. And, just trying to uncover every stone to make sure that it doesn't happen again.
Well, I know you won't really say that injuries will ever hamper you, but can you kind of tell us what was hampering you in the series and just kind of how much it affected you?
My hamstring wasn't chilling, so I felt like it affected my skating a little bit. I didn't feel like I had the pop really, and so just unfortunate.
Adin, you mentioned trying to uncover every stone so you can get through next season, not have to do this again. What areas do you go down to try to make sure that history doesn't repeat itself?
I'm just going to follow up with a doctor I've seen who I think is one of the best there is and try and, just more preventative. There's nothing bothering me right now, so that's good. Right now I feel like my body's at 100%, but it's just making sure that don't go down that road again, because honestly, like even the Ottawa game, I came back and I was out 5 minutes into the game. It's like just frustrating because going into that game, I felt 100%. I practiced 6 to 10 times. I don't know what the real number was, but it was over 5, right? And didn't feel any ounce of pain, no weakness, nothing. And then 5 minutes into game action happens again. So, very frustrating. And it's just trying to make sure I'm doing everything that I can to make sure that doesn't happen again, because I feel like I prepare for the ice and do everything properly, and my routine's good, so it's just trying to figure it out.
More of a challenge mentally or physically when you go through that?
It was definitely a challenge mentally this year too. It's a movement that I've done thousands and thousands of times in my life when I get hurt, so it's weird how you can do something so many times and then just one time that exact same movement, something happens and tweaks. So it's kind of shocking when it happens, because you're like, I did this 80 times in practice yesterday, and now today in the game it hurts. So with being a goalie in the position I do, it puts a lot of stress on certain areas of your body, and there's no really way to play goalie with out. So, it's tough.
William, a lot of guys have come up here and said that even when times are tough, the locker room stuck together, and there's just such a great dynamic in that locker room. And Jonathan Marchessault, I know, is a huge part of your life and a big part of the locker room. So how much thought have you given into what the potential future may hold for him and whether or not he's a member of this team?
I agree with everything you're saying. We all know what he does on the ice, but he's a really good guy to have in the locker room as well. I'm still hoping. I don't know what will happen. So it's just the business. So we'll see what happens. But hopefully we'll both be skating in Golden Knights jersey next year.
Any other questions for William or Adin? Vince?
I guess for both of you, if you want. But just the decompressing after a season, just the abruptness once it ends. How do you get away from the game? Do you keep hockey off the TV? I mean, how do you decompress before you get into your off season and then your normal routines?
I'll probably maybe take a week or so, but then I'll start watching the playoffs again. But kind of hard seeing teams out there that I feel like we were better than if we got to our game. I feel like we never. Maybe it's man games missed. I'm not going to make any excuses in any way, but I feel like we never got to where a game can be. Last year we saw what we can do in the soccer room. So, and I think you can argue we might have had a better team on paper this year. So we didn't play the same way on the ice, I don't believe. But yeah, I think just kind of take a couple weeks off, let your body rest and recover from a long season. And the nice thing is we know that we have it in this locker room, and we'll come back hungry next year.
You want to hear mine too? Yeah, no, just gonna hang out with my family. And, yeah, spend time with them. Get another perspective on life when you have a kid. So just trying to hang out with them as much as possible. And I don't know, we'll see if I end up watching the playoffs or not.